Part two of who knows how many. My answers to the questions that Glenn Beck was asked when Glenn Beck had Mormonism 101. One of the questions was about our magic underwear. Please don't call it magic underwear. When I hear somebody say that, my first assumption is they're just saying that because it's a wording they've heard somebody else use. But some people who use that wording are trying to be rude. They're using that language to intentionally be disrespectful. We do have underwear that's sacred, religious. It's not magic. Magic stuff has power in and of itself. Our underwear is not powerful. If you just break into my house, steal my underwear, and wear it, it won't do anything for you. It won't do anything good for you. If you knew what it was, mocking the sacred things is not going to be a good thing to have on the list of things you've done at Judgment Day. Yeah. But that would be a stupid reason to not vote for a candidate who you agree with on all the other issues. On all the issues. That's not even worthy to be called a political issue. What somebody's underwear is. Are you gonna try to find out if a candidate wears boxers or briefs? If a female candidate wears a sports bra or a lacy bra or a thong or brief style underwear, it's stupid to try to vote on a candidate based on that. Let's see. Realize we aren't not so crazy. Here's some facts about our underwear. We do take it all the way off for making love. At least the church doesn't tell us we have to keep it on for that. I don't know. Maybe some individual Mormons don't. We do take it all the way off to get a shower, to get a bath. I've actually heard people on YouTube videos accusing us of keeping it on even when making love with our spouses, or standing with one leg in the shower and one leg out. That's just lies. And depending on recreational activity, some of us choose to not wear them during certain recreational activities. In the most recent Olympics, there was a swimmer who had been a missionary, so I assume he's endowed and supposed to be wearing his underwear, but he wasn't wearing it when he was swimming in the Olympics. It would have definitely been sticking out from the swimming clothes, and he wasn't, apostatizing, and we don't look at him as, some infidel or something like that for not wearing them while he swims. And we wear the underwear after we've gone through a certain ceremony in the temple, which we call the endowment. One of the other questions that was asked to Glenn Beck was something about temples. And it would be stupid to not vote for a candidate because he's a Mormon and we have temples. Because we aren't plotting to take over the world in them. We don't rape little girls in them. That's what Warren Jeffs does, according to the jury that convicted him. And we're not Warren Jeffs. If there is some group that does forced marriages and rapes of little girls in temples, don't vote for them. But that's not us. The camera moving? And yes, temples are a restricted area, but what groups don't have restricted area? If nothing else, an office space that only the office workers for a church are supposed to be in. Or a bishop's office that's not public area that everyone's supposed to spend time in. We do baptisms for the dead in the temple, which just means we go through the motion of a baptism with living people and we say the names of the dead people. And we believe the dead people are going to be given the opportunity to accept or reject what we've done for them. Nothing's being forced on anyone. We're just saying their names. No grave digging. No breaking into City Hall and writing Mormon on the people's death certificates and birth certificates. The endowment ceremony. We don't make covenants to take over the world. We don't learn our place in some army. None of those things we're accused of. We just promise to live good lives. And part of the endowment ceremony is, as Brigham Young described it, we learn signs and tokens that we will show to the angels guarding heaven after this life. After we're died and resurrected, nothing for now. After we're died and resurrected, things will show then, in the distant future. And our marriages in the temple don't end at death. Well, of course, if the husband and wife have behaved themselves, if they've endured to the end in keeping the commandments of God, they will be a husband and wife in heaven. But that's a stupid thing to base your vote on. If somebody looks at heaven the same way as you do, whether they think there'll be marriage there or not, so what? Yeah. I started this segment about our underwear. We're supposed to keep it covered, not expose it to the general public. We don't have to request separate locker rooms when we're in some situation where there's going to be a locker room and we have to change clothes. And the women actually get a couple more inches of skin that they can show. I know this because I'm married, and so I've seen my wife's garments, and the men's collar is a little bit closer to the neck than the women's garment collar, and the women's garments have a shorter sleeve than the men's garments. There's a short sleeve on them, and they're supposed to reach somewhat close to the knee. I'm apparently thinner than I'm taller than the average person of my thinness, so my garments don't get as close to the knee as I think they're supposed to in theory, but I still try to have shorts that reach my knees. And what other question could I talk about that Glenn Beck was asked? Caffeine. It would be stupid to base your vote for president on somebody else's eating habits if they're not planning on coming into your kid's school and taking away the lunch you made for your kids, or forcing you to follow their eating habits. Like, caffeine is not prohibited by the teachings of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Some people said that were wrong, including Brian Williams, or whoever the people working for, I forget the interviewer's name, the reporters working with that show that Brian Williams hosted. It's not worthy to be called a news show because it was so inaccurate. A couple weeks ago now, That's 30 Rock. No, 30 Rock's the sitcom. 30 Center, Rock Center. That wasn't a news piece. That was an attack piece to try to make my religion look kooky so that people won't vote for people who are members of my religion for office. That's all that was. That wasn't a fair shake. Wasn't good reporting. The things that are prohibited are drinking alcohol. All alcohol is rubbing alcohol. Chewing, smoking, tobacco. This is in 1833 when this was given. The Revelation guy gave in 1833 used the wording hot drinks, which was later clarified to mean coffee and tea. So it's coffee and tea that we don't drink. And if you are drinking those things, and you're known to be drinking them, you're not allowed into the temples. Caffeine, some Mormons choose to try to go without caffeine or try to have a low caffeine lifestyle because it is a drug. It can be addictive. It triggers your adrenal gland, and I'm sure that's not good for your overall long-term health to have your adrenal gland triggered and get your body ready for fight or flight, as that one rhyme goes, but then do nothing. Alrighty, it looks like it's going to be at least three segments from me on this issue.